So let's try this again. Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, the undisputed members of the Undisputed Era. Because Undisputed Era is actually all three guys. It was them two and Adam Cole. And the match was good. It was good. I have it ranked at 3 3/4 stars. I like the way they went. You know, one thing about NXT they do is that they do a lot of old school stuff, and I wonder if it's because of some of the guys they have like William Regal and Triple H. I don't know if Triple H is, you know, but they can do a lot of old school stuff. And and at one point in the match, one of the guys from the Authors of Pain, he gets he does some type of move, jumps off the ropes, and when he comes down, he hurts his knee. And the first thing they do is they go after the knee. And so that's what they do. They go after the knee, and the Undisputed Era works the knee and works the knee throughout all of the match, and it doesn't fall. It doesn't fall into the. It doesn't come to the finish. This is part of the finish, but I think it's still good. Still some good psychology, because that's what you gotta do, right? Because they are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish are smaller guys. Although they're painted as these big monsters of men. So they work on these guys' leg, and they work on it the whole match, and you can't do some of the things. Although one of the things that, in this era, in this era of wrestling, where he has done a lot of selling, he sold the leg really good. So the leg, when he was doing moves, he would always clutch it and grab it and things like that. And I think that's got to happen more often than not. When you're doing something like that. So I love when Jason Jordan was doing the knee thing. What they were doing was they were selling the knee. So I thought that was great. So I was very happy and very entertained by this match. The finish happens when they go for the Super Collider. And while one of the Authors of Pain, the more healthier Authors of Pain, while he finishes, I don't know for whatever reason, but I don't know if it's because of the knee. I don't think it was, because he didn't sell it. But when you do the Super Collider, it's almost as if he gets hit and gets unbalanced, and then that Author of Pain unexpectedly kind of E-fan. But that's what I want to do. By the way, as you guys probably have recognized, this is a new look here for me. I moved it around and I changed it because I really just wanted to I wanted something a little different. I wanted something a little different than what I had, and really I kind of changed it around for my gaming setup. My gaming setup be a little bit more thing. So yeah, this is kind of a different view from what you have seen before in the past from me, but I think it's okay. I think it's a good look. So that's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and let's continue on with the reaction. The time that I am watching, he has lost, and I'm not sure in this match. I had a 3-star match. I saw somebody on the internet say that it was a good match. It got sloppy at the end, and it did get sloppy at the end. There was some sloppiness, and I think maybe when you're trying to pick up probably a 300-pound man, after doing all types of athletics for 20 minutes and you're tired, it's probably you might be a little sloppy and things like that. So ridiculous, but Dream did win. And listen, Dream is a star. I think there's no doubt about him. He is a star. He is audacious, braggadocious, sensitive to the LGBT community. No, now obviously it isn't. Many characters were on television. So I don't think pre-show. And again, a great character. I just can't wait for it. So again, the match between Dream and Cassius Ohno thing with Paige when Becky Lynch and Charlotte was called, when they were called up, and Sasha Banks, when they were called the sorority squad or something like that. You Googled it and up came adult stuff, and the same thing would come up with Queen of Spades. And for those of y'all who don't know, Queen of Spades is a woman, particularly a white woman, who QOS Baszler. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. But if that QOS goes away, let's get to the match. The match I thought was terrific. And that's okay, But she's kind of not she's more than likely than not going to be booked that way. Now, at some point she will. Right now she's being booked as a kind of a I don't want to say Brock Lesnar. Like when Brock Lesnar was being booked back in 2002 when he first came up, he was booked as what they built him as, the next big thing. He's unstoppable and everything. But there was a little bit of I think a backlash, not backlash, but I do think there was a bit of protection of Brock. But Brock got it pretty quickly in the ring. He really did. Shayna, she kind of has that. She looks like she booked like that for the Mae Young Classic, and I've not seen her matches, but she was booked like that in this one. But I just think that they could run into trouble with her, because some people are already not believing her. I saw it on Twitter. Some people are not believing her. They don't see the thing of it, and so I'm not sure if it's gonna take something. But tonight was a good night in even involving that first step, because she does something where she does the thing and kicks her elbow out of her elbow and everything like that, and then she becomes a part of the she starts working on the arm of Ember Moon and everything like that. And at one point, Ember Moon hits the Eclipse on Shayna, but she can't cover because of her arm. And it even so much so that they bring out the doctors and everything like that, the doctors, and they really threatened to stop the match. And at that point, that's what I kind of thought they were going to do. I thought they were really going to stop the match, award Shayna the match, but not the title, because she could not continue. And just the title could only change hands on the count out. That's what I thought they were going to do. It was going to be one of those things where Ember would win the match. Not Ember. Shayna would win the match, but Ember would win the war because she would keep her title. That type of thing. And actually, that turned out to be the entire round, because when they get to it and she locks on that armbar, the armbar done by Alberto Del Rio. Ronda Rousey did it, forever in MMA. She locked on that, and they had a fight. And one person said on Twitter, he was kind of wondering why they were doing, that the arm would be so in so much trouble and in so much pain, but she wouldn't tap out. She stayed in it for. No. It wasn't the full thing, because there were times when she was putting her arms together and trying to do everything, and so it was about a 5 minute span there where she had the arm on her, the arm lock on her, and she was really trying to she was trying to beat her, but but I do think they did a great job of just telegraphing it and going to it and putting it up. I thought it was tremendous the way it ended up, because she kept fighting to try to fight out of it, and almost as if like she fought herself into a pinfall submission, a pinfall situation, and she got the 3 count. She pinned Shayna Baszler, so Ember Moon wins, and she walks out, and Shayna Baszler, pissed off and leaving, goes ahead. She locks on. They call it something, the Kodak clutch or Kachakina. It's not the Kokina. It's some other type of clutch they're calling it. It's just fucking stupid. Anyway, but they did it, and it was what it was. So really, really good a match by them. I gave it 4 stars. It did start out slow, but I thought that it was becoming better.
Too much. No one is ready for Asuka. Right. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So you heard her say nobody's ready for Asuka. So yeah. So she's getting ready for the normal match, and she won female NXT female star of the year, and also overall superstar for the NXT roster. So let's get to it. The next match was Adam Cole and Aleister Black, an Extreme Rules match, and this is really where it really started. The crowd started to pick up, I think, because they knew it was going to be Extreme Rules. It was going to be 2 very guys who were going to do this stuff, and of course they did. They did their damnedest. Aleister Black and Adam Cole, they did some things, and some great spots. At one point, somehow Adam Cole cut his hand open. And I don't know how, I don't know where, but he cut his hand off, and so there's blood on the thing, and then at some point they had to actually do something where they paused in the match so that people could come over and flush his hand or something, and then you heard a loud boo from the crowd. But listen, it's his hand. At least it wasn't it wasn't like it was more violent than that Hell in a Cell match between the Usos and the New Day. That was definitely the most violent of the new era, but it wasn't. I don't know how to describe it. It was a good match. I put it down as 4.25 stars, and I think what's so good about what they did was that it was about ending a rivalry, and I think that needs to be more like they were going to try and end a rivalry, and I think that needs to happen more in WWE. Sometimes the rivalries end they don't end like they're supposed to end. If you have a rivalry, it needs to be like, for whatever reason, I'm going to take the title or you're not going to take the title, you know, or I'm going to show you who's the better man, or I'm going to get revenge on you doing this to me, you know, things like that. But sometimes it almost feels like there'll be sometimes the rivalry, they just go out there and just do the rivalry, and it doesn't seem like they're out there to do what they want to do. They're just out there performing, you know. And while that's great, and while that's fine to show one another who was the better man, and they did it tonight in the Extreme Rules match, and it was incredible. And you know, we had the Undisputed Era come down near the end of the match, but then Sanity, they came back, I guess, from wherever they have been, and they took them out. And so I guess we're going to see the Undisputed Era versus Sanity during NXT, you know, over the next few weeks. Go out to the tag titles, because they deserve a rematch. They were actually the champion. They were the champions at the last pay-per-view. The last pay-per-view was the War Games pay-per-view, right? Yeah, and so they were the tag team champions then. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do and what they go about it. So yeah, this was incredible. I liked the way it is. The one thing that they have the biggest pet peeve. I have a lot of pet peeves with wrestling and the WWE and whatever. But one of my biggest pet peeves is that when they do the tables, sometimes they don't fully clean off the tables, and they leave things on there, especially pencils. Pencils on, and then they stay on it, and then fucking Adam Cole was sitting, if not on, near the pencil, and then he gets the double knees through the table, and you know, because you never know how that happens. That pencil can somehow pop into your back and your spine, and hit the wrong nerve, and you paralyzed from a pencil. Just take the fucking time to clear off everything. And by the way, or we can even go quicker. What the fuck are the announcers doing with pencils? What are they doing with pencils? And why ain't they grabbing the pencils? They grabbing everything, grabbing the other thing that they're talking to, grabbing everything else. Grab the fucking pencils. And it's just, oh my God. So the match ends with Adam Cole looking to end it with a steel chair shot, and Aleister Black hits Black Mass, and Aleister Black wins. Again, like I said, this match was awesome. It got the crowd invigorated for the most part. Now, again, the women's match did that a little bit. They were really into the whole thing, especially during the scene when, you know, she was fighting. Ember Moon was fighting for her life. So maybe that part got started, but then the crowd, and then they kept them alive. They woke them up even more. Got them excited, got them chanting, got them doing everything like that. And then it leads into now the NXT title match, championship match. Adrian Cianomos versus Johnny Gargano. And there's nothing you can say about this match, man. Not much you can say. This was at one point I was sitting there wondering if this match, if there's not a clean finish in this match, do I still give it 5 stars? That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking on the end. If the referee stops the match, they were doing some of that too. Johnny Gargano was good acting, you know, like he was out of it a couple times, and you know, Zelina Vega she was interfering, and there was a threat of Tommaso Ciampa coming back and maybe possibly, you know, interfering. So I was sitting there wondering, if this match doesn't end clean, do I give it 5 stars? I was in there thinking that's how good this match was. The match did end clean, so this is a 5-star match without question. But I really did like the way some of these things went down. I did enjoy some of the things, the escapes and the moves and things like that. Some of the strategy. Again, telling of the story. This is and this is story. Johnny Gargano, so many years after his breakup, his DIY breakup, seemingly went down a path of losses. And he got his groove back. Stella got her groove back. Johnny got his groove back. And he was he was checking out, and he got to the point where he got his groove back so much that he was the number one contender for the NXT title. And he was ready for it. Putting out all the stops. Anything and everything that he could do, he was willing to do. He wanted to win that title. And so it was great storytelling by these two. And Adrian C. and Almas was going to do anything to retain that title. I enjoyed it. And at one point, Zelina Vega gets up on the thing, and she does her and Conrada and sends Joey Gargano into the steps. And then she's like, when Johnny Gargano, did I say Jordy? Johnny Gargano, whatever. When he goes out, to the outside, she's gonna come around there. But Candice LeRae, newly signed to NXT, bam, she hits the ring, and she takes down Zelina Vega, and she takes down and chases it all, so then they can finish the match. And again, the drive-by double knees was seemingly the end of Johnny Gargano, because they did it to him while he was sitting on the apron on that pole back there, that new lighting scanner, and bam, and then that happened. Then he drug him into the ring and hit that Hemlock DDT type thing. His finisher on Johnny, and that was the match. So Almas retains the NXT championship. So, and I was actually saying during the match, because I was talking about Velveteen Dream, and I was saying, and then Adam Cole and everything like that. So I was thinking, do you put the title on Gargano, and then at the TakeOver at WrestleMania, which I'm guessing, I guess you can just say NXT TakeOver New Orleans, right? Do you then put the title on Adam Cole? Turn Aleister Black and turn Velveteen Dream face, because he's basically already a face now, because people change his name, they love him, they adore him, and then you have him chase the title. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to put the title on Aleister Black at NXT New Orleans, I would think, and then you can have the rivalry renewed with Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream, and probably many others as well. And then maybe Adrian Siamas comes up like after SummerSlam, because it shows up on one of the rosters. So, but yeah, this was incredible. Like I said, 5-star match. You gotta give them credit. And then they do this great thing, and it's gonna be an NXT staple. It truly is. They've done this twice now, and it is. Johnny Gargano is walking to the back with Candice LeRae, and they are up there, and he's getting ready to raise to the crowd. It's like this, when DIY did it, everybody thought that they were thinking either one or two things. Either one, they were going to break up, or two, they were going to go to the main roster. So when they walked to the back, everybody was thinking, okay, this is the main roster. They're saying goodbye. They're getting ready to go to the main roster. No, they're not. And they broke up. But then Ciampa got hurt. And then what happened tonight, again, it's like the thing is, okay, well, I didn't win the NXT title. So the only thing now I have to do now is have to go and conquer the main roster. I have to go to 205 Live, right? So, no, it's Ciampa with his crutch. By the way, he still looks hurt because he's limping. So, still limping. and his beard has grown out since he's been injured. So it's gonna see what we see. Apologize. You see what happens with these two guys. See what happens, and it's gonna be interesting. See what happens. I had actually said that I wonder if what's next, since Zelina Vega got involved and Candice LeRae got involved as well. I wonder if their next match, Almas and Gargano, is going to be a steel cage match, or is it going to be a Hell in a Cell match, so that the ladies can't get involved in any way. That's what I wonder, and that would actually be something interesting to do. I think, right, he would win at TakeOver New Orleans, and he would be the champion. So I think I would like to see that. I don't know if that's the way they're gonna go. They, knowing them, they might go like a tag match, so that at least Johnny Gargano could win. So, but once again, it was really good. This was a really good pay-per-view. Really quick, let's really quick here. I want to just go to. I want to talk about the new NXT stars, and I want to talk about tomorrow at the Royal Rumble. So they showed War Machine, they showed Ricochet, they showed EC3. All guys now gonna be on the NXT roster, probably debuting over the next month or so. So that was interesting. Again, I have not seen a lot of Ricochet or I've seen some of EC3. Are they gonna go down that rabbit hole with him? Because the gimmick was that he was Dixie Carter's nephew, and I want to see, or will this just be a thing where it's EC3 and we never know what EC3 stands for? Will somebody call him Ethan? If he gets involved in a love storyline, will someone call him Ethan? Or, something like that. So it would be it's going to be interesting to see what they do with EC3 and things like that. And did they let her wait to the crowd? But they did for War Machine and Ricochet and the pay-per-view. So it's only going to be on the network. So I'm not sure to call it, but I guess I just call it PPV because that's just what it is. If I was them, I would go one of two ways. I would either go with having the male Rumble first, all of the matches, and then the women's Royal Rumble be the last one, the main event, since it's the very first one. Or I would have the women's Royal Rumble in the middle. It's 4 hours, right? So what I would do is I would have one or I would have the first two matches at the first hour from 6 to 7, right? Along with maybe some type of skit or something like that, whatever. And then at around 7, I would call for the women's Royal Rumble, and then I would do that one. I would do the women's Royal Rumble, something like that, and that one. Then I would do the 2 out of 3 falls tag match. I would do the 2 out of 3 falls tag match, and that could very well steal the show with the Usos and the way they work and Benjamin and Gable doing their thing. So that could very well steal the show. Then I would do the men's Royal Rumble. And then I would do the title match. I'm not putting the men's Royal Rumble last, basically because of Roman Reigns. I am at this point. I'm 95% sure Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. And it's because of some other things that have gone on. Now they can obviously change their mind, make a last minute decision, But I saw something on the internet, actually on YouTube, where they were talking about where the promotion for the Fast Lane pay per view, which is for SmackDown, the February SmackDown pay per view, but they do think it's the Fast Lane. I think the Elimination Chamber is actually the is the Raw pay per view this time, but the Fast Lane pay per view was going to be AJ Styles defending his title in a 6-man in a fatal 5-way. It was going to be him and Kevin and Sammy, Shinsuke and Orton. It's going to be those five. So if Shinsuke and Orton from SmackDown, if they're going to be in a fatal 5-way at the Fastlane pay per view, I mean, you think that it means that they wouldn't win the Royal Rumble. Right, so it's got to be somebody from Raw, right, or somebody do both in John Cena. So now this, so we got John Cena. So now here's two things. He's been doing this thing with Elias. Okay, so that's one. And then also, and then continue on. There's that rumor that's still out there that he's going to, wrestle the Undertaker. He's gonna come back, which I would say, in my personal opinion, out of retirement. That's where he should be. Should be in retirement. Out of retirement, and he would wrestle Cena at this year's WrestleMania. So that's what I'm saying. John Cena's out. So then when you look at it, anybody else, and we know from biggest things that it's going to be Brock and Roman at WrestleMania. We just know that. Now, if Braun Strowman was to win, they said on saw a tweet on a tweet that supposedly Strowman's going to face The Miz at WrestleMania. He's not gonna face Triple H, or he's not gonna. So that's the plan for right now. So all roads point to Roman Reigns winning the match. So, and Philly's gonna go crazy on it because it's like 2 years you're here and you give it to Roman, and the way people feel. So they're going to crap on that. So. We'll have to see, but I just so that's just me. Where I feel is that I wouldn't put Roman Reigns once again in that situation to get booed out of the building by the Philly fans, just like they did years ago when he won it. So so I would either put the thing on first, or I put it on as the semi-main for ahead of the title match. That's just me. That's just how I would do it. But we'll see how that goes. Should be fun. Should be interesting. We're headed on the road to WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble is my favorite pay-per-view. It's my favorite match. I enjoy the hell out of it. So I'm gonna have some fun. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for guys who came and joined and watched for the brief period that you did, and you guys who are going to be watching later once this processes and uploads. I pretty appreciate it. Post your comments down below to me what you guys thought and what you guys thought of NXT TakeOver. Like the video, share the video, subscribe.